What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? And we're here again for another week of Journey of a Jackass. How y'all doing? All right. How you doing this week? How you doing this week?
Look, I'm doing good. I'm doing. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of upset because had some plans for spring break
Uh-huh.
for the kids. I didn't take off during the week, but I took off Friday, and it looks like where we're going, like the weather's gonna be really crappy. So, um, what we're trying to do is outside, so we're probably gonna have to reschedule or move some things around. But I was
Is
looking
it
forward to it.
is it Helen? Y'all going to Helen?
No, we were going to Charlotte. Charlotte has a theme park called Carowinds.
Yeah, I know about Carowin.
Yeah, my kid's still a little young, so
Yeah, yeah,
I can do
yeah.
things like that with them still.
Yeah. But yeah, Carowinds is nice. You might as well put them all the way up this way to Kings Dominion or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Busch Gardens.
Yeah, but see, they not Busch Gardens ready yet. I think Busch Gardens is more like when you get 12, 13, that type of age, not the younger ages, because I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Last time I went to Busch Gardens, it wasn't for younger kids, and I'm not trying to be looking at no animals all day. I want to get on some rides.
Yeah, that would no. Well, the Busch Gardens in Williamsburg don't be having all the animals and stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't think I ever been to that one. I've only been to the one in Florida, in Tampa.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah, that one is yeah, that's some safari shit.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? So
It is.
now let me hold on. Let me tell you about my week though. So
Okay.
you know I do therapy every week, whatever case maybe. Before we get into this episode of the best decades and stuff like
Right.
that, right? So let me tell you about my week. So I was in therapy yesterday, and therapy was going good because I had multiple therapists that I like to deal with for different kinds of reasons, whatever case may be, right? So
Okay.
therapy it was good, right? So about 30 minutes into our session, I hear a loud thud. Boom. And I'm looking, I'm like, what's
Oh
going on?
no.
I'm thinking this somewhere in here. Then I hear dude bust the room. Bitch, you filed for a divorce for me. What's going on? Dude just busted and start cussing the motherfucking therapist out. I was like, oh shit. She's like, I'm working. Can we talk about
What?
this after the session?
Oh my
I'm working
God.
right now. I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. It sounds like you got something to take care of. Boom. She was getting a dude walking. I should have said the horn in case he
Okay,
tried to
so
kill
y'all
me.
was on Zoom.
We was on Zoom.
Oh, well,
We
good thing he wasn't there. He probably would
man,
have tried to attack you.
man, he would probably would have thought I was cheating or something. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, he bust on. He said, "Bitch, you tried to divorce me." I said, "Damn, I'm in therapy. What the fuck is going on?"
Look, the only man. Everybody needs some therapy. She probably needs some therapy herself.
That's law for me though. If my therapist got to go to therapy, that's law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, man, so we gonna talk about the best decade this week. You know what I'm talking about? So before we get into that story time with me,
Story time.
story time with me. Let's go, baby. All
Oh
right, so
Lord.
now I'm gonna tell you a story, right? So I was born in '79, so I lived through the '80s, the '90s, the 2000s, the teens, and now into the '20s, right? So
Right.
the best decade to me, I love the '80s because they had the best movies. That's why they keep remaking them now. But I love the '90s. So during the '90s,
I
I'm gonna tell
agree.
you one of my most memorable stories from the '90s, right?
What? Oh
One of
my
my
God.
most memorable stories from the '90s. Now, the '90s was a good time, great time, right?
It
So,
was.
and that's when $20 meant something. Like for twenty
Yeah.
dollars, you could get a 12 pack of beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can fill up your car with gas. You could get uh buy some coochie and still have change left. You feel what I'm saying? It was a great time. You feel what I'm saying? You and still have some change left. There was no all this inflation and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like who can do that? You can do that. Gas to get there, drinks ahead when you get there, and get the coochie and still go home with $4. Be good to go. The
Good
'90s,
to
right?
go. The
Yeah,
90s.
the '90s. But I love every generation so far here for their own different things. But okay, so this is the story. So this is funny, but it's fucked up, but it's funny. Okay, so look. So when I was younger, right?
Uh
My
huh.
sister, my sister used to have friends spend the night all the time over there, right? You know, they were coming over there, they be spending up the weekend, through the week, spring break, stuff like that. I'm like, I'm the oldest of 9 kids. So I was like, man, you know what? Man, I'm tired of this. I started becoming a little bit older, a little bit horny. So I was like, I want to try something out, right? So
Oh Lord.
she had one friend they come over because I'm gonna keep it simple this week. So she had one friend come over. So I've been messing with her the whole time. We was in the yard playing,
Fresh.
around,
Manish.
So yeah, smacking on her a little bit. She didn't have much ass. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say her name, but she
I would
ain't
never
got,
let my kid around you.
man, listen, she ain't got no ass to this day. I ain't gonna say her name. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, right? So yeah, we playing around and we having a good time. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first night, man. We out there playing Nintendo, Sega, having tournaments and stuff, watching old school movies on TV, watching The Simpsons and stuff like that. Like it was good. It was like we was teenage vibing, like teenage vibing.
Okay.
So my dad had left at this point, so it was just my mom, right? And she was doing the best she could with us and everything, but we were growing up. So when my dad left, me and my twin brothers moved to the basement. So I slept on a twin bed and they slept on a bunk bed next to me, right? So me, being fresh, I sneak upstairs one night. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I sneak upstairs and then I peek my head in my sister's room. And then I see that they sleep. And then I go up to her and I grab her leg and I pull her, right? So she comes with me. I said, okay, yeah. So we start kissing the hallway. I said, no, this is going downstairs, right? So I told the twins, because she said she had to go to the bathroom. I said, go ahead, go to the bathroom. So I walked in there and one of the twins was up there just staring at me like this. I said, y'all better pretend like y'all sleep. Pretend like y'all sleep, right? So this shit
That's
was
horrible.
so crazy. It's horrible. So they laid in the bed. One of them turns away. The other boy just laid facing like this. He just laid there facing, eyes wide open. I said, nigga, close your eyes. So me and the chick get in the bed. We start messing around. Go whatever the case may be. I get the condom. We start having sex. I'm on top of her. You know what I'm saying? We getting it in. One of my most memorable moments, right? Because it was a good experience. Like we was getting in, whatever the case may be. So my twin brothers was like, one of them started rooting me on. Yeah, dying. The other one was sitting there just staring at me. I'm like, what's wrong with him? So I'm trying to block them out, right? So I'm looking down at her and she's moaning, grunting. We get it in, whatever it may be. My back starting to sweat. And I see her looking up. I see her looking over my shoulder, staring. And she's looking over my shoulder, staring. And I think I'm doing something good, like she's almost done. We young. We just did try to beat her.
How old were you?
Man, I was like 15, 16 at this time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I mean, they're trying to beat it up, get in, whatever the case may be. So she's staring over my shoulder. And I'm like, what the hell is she looking at? So I'm looking at her, and then she looks up at me. Then she looked back over my shoulder. So I'm like, what is she looking over? So I look over, and she's making eye contact with my mother standing in my doorway.
Your mom?
My mom was standing there just like this with her arms crossed, watching everything going on. She said, and I turned around and said, oh, and I hopped up on her. She said, what are y'all doing? Blah, blah, blah. I started kirking out. And then she started wilding out. Girl, get your ass upstairs, blah, blah, blah. This started going on. Then she came and swung at me with the belt. And then my little brother was in the bed like, run, Diane, run. So I ran out the house in my drawers. And they lifted up with them like, run, Diane, she coming. So she's like, get your tail back in, then. We had to talk, whatever the case may be. And then what was crazy is that my mom let her spend a night with her a couple nights. She said, but you better not take your tail back downstairs no more, blah, blah, blah. So we would kind of sneak around the house and kiss and stuff like that. And then every time she seen me, too little, too late, she tried to have the talk. Well, this is the banana, this is the condom. That's why I already learned how to help Ed. But it was so creepy. She was sitting like, she didn't say nothing. Like, she was petrified. She kept on. I'm thinking I'm beating it up and she's about to tap out. She's like, and my mom is just sitting there like a creep, like arms crossed. One of my most memorable moments from the 90s, and that's story time with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Look, I don't know what to say about that one. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Yeah. It was memorable. It was memorable. There was a lot of memories from the 90s, but that one was the funniest one to me because of the way my brothers were sitting there, and one of my brothers was laying there just staring. He was like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And I was like, and still to this day, I don't know why she didn't say nothing and why my mom didn't say nothing. She just sat there and was staring. It was like they was having a staring contest. I'm thinking I'm doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's some bullshit. I thought you did. At least I thought you were gonna let me finish it first, but it is what it is. So anyway, man, this week's
That was a
topic
good story.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Something sweet,
Little wild.
to the point. Little wild. You know, I'm being fresh, trying to get my meat wet. You know.
Oh yeah.
Look, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. It's hot.
It's not cool off here.
So now let me go on, get into this. So this week we're going to discuss the best decades, some of the things that we liked and loved from those decades and stuff like that. Like what stood out about those decades and what you like. Because every decade has its periods and its time frames and stuff like that, right? So let me ask you this. What in your illustrious life, what decade do you think was the best decade and why?
I have to say, well, for me, I say the 90s. That's the first, my favorite. And then I want to say like the 2000s.
Cause he was in there, it's going down, meet me in the club, it's going
Yeah.
down.
So the 90s and the 2000s, that's my two.
But those were the prime years. Now for me, I say it's the 90s. Now, what is your reason for the 90s though?
Well, my reasons for the 90s because in the 90s, I was born in the late 80s, right? So in the 90s, I was like a kid. And then it was just a lot of stuff that came out then. It was like it was the turning point of the century. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the video games, computers, cell phones, all that stuff really like took a turn in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Remember, I remember when everybody thought now this crazy as hell. I remember when everybody thought Y2K was gonna happen. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And everybody thought Y2K was gonna happen. So
Y2K was crazy.
Yeah, me, my friend D's, and my twin brothers, we was ready. Man, as soon as everything was shut down, we had pry bars, we had ski masks, we had bags, and we was sitting on top of the hill waiting for the power wall so we could run in the bank.
See?
Just reckless and ready.
Yes, reckless. Very reckless.
Yeah, for real.
Very reckless.
Hey man, listen. Hey, I'm telling you. But as far as the 90s, yeah, the music was different, but it was also a swing in the music. Like we went from Black People Stay Together music to that gangster shit in the 90s. We went from love making music in the 80s to I'm gonna get them draws in the 90s. Somebody body rocking knocking the boots in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, bottle rocking, knocking them boots now. But it was a lot. It was like a variety of artists that came out in the 90s, like Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Tupac, Biggie.
Yeah.
And then don't forget, like, you know, it was, I don't know if this is a thing, but I know, like, as far as me being, you know, Black, African American, however you want to, you know, classify me, you know, it was more predominantly white groups that was, you know, crossing over and like by Blacks, like, you know, No Doubt, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, you know, NSYNC,
that's
Backstreet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I ain't like none of them niggas. I was listening to Wu-Tang.
See, you were too hard up. You were too hard up, man.
I was listening to Master P and them. You want to talk about some Cain and Abel, TRU? You know what I'm talking about? We can talk about the Ghetto Boys. I'm listening to them. You know what I'm saying? The Rough Riders, Cash Money. I was listening to them. Now, all this Backstreet Boys, Back to Life shit. I don't know nothing about. I know about it now. You know what I'm saying? Once you travel the world, get enough experience, you learn more about it. But
yeah, but that wasn't your time.
no,
When
no.
Backstreet Boys and everything and all that wasn't your time. That was around my time.
Yeah.
So that's why I can make that statement.
Dang. It's gonna call me old, and when I'm calling me old, dang.
You know you a little old.
I mean,
Well,
it's
look,
all good. It's
I
all good.
found something.
Uh-huh.
It was called the top 10 best decades, right? Since 1900 to live in.
Uh-huh.
And I want to go down and just read what they placed, the decades that they placed, right?
Yeah.
So the
I,
first
I know that
one,
I know this decade right now here, and this last decade better not be in it. These shits was
look,
trash.
the first one, the first one is 1980s.
I said that because I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why the 80s is on it. Right now, all of these movies that are coming out right now and stuff like that, they are
Yeah,
remakes of movies from the 80s. Like they,
yeah, you're right.
Hollywood is out of ideas, so they're remaking
Yeah.
movies from the 80s. Dune, Beverly Hills Cop, like
Mm-hmm.
the majority of these movies they are remaking. They had to redo another Coming to America, stuff like that. They're
Yep,
running out of ideas. Like
sure did. And look,
so,
we had, and as far as music, it was like what? Madonna, Whitney, Michael.
Gerald Levert, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like yeah, it was
Heavy
MJ was
metal,
yep.
AC/DC,
Everybody,
Metallica.
why you would listen to that shit? We listen to Run DMC, tougher than leather,
I'm
baby.
telling you, they was off the chain back then. Now I remember some of those crazy little videos and stuff that they used to have. It was wow. All that makeup and stuff they used to have on their face. It was crazy.
Yeah, Prince came out in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah,
right, so let's go to number two. Number
yeah.
two is the 1990s.
Of course. Of course.
1990s everything. 1990s had like, remember that old cartoon Boy Meets World, Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
Yeah.
was just
Hey, if you think about it in the 90s
but,
though, that was a transitional period for
yeah,
a lot of things. It was a transition for music, it was a transition for movies, fashion. And out of all the decades we've been alive, I think the most fashionable decade was probably the 90s.
yeah.
You
I
know what I'm
agree.
saying? Yeah, like for real. Like
I agree.
easily. But I mean, maybe that's just because I actually said it. I seen the D boys with the 8-ball jackets and the chicks with their fat butts and the parasuco jeans and you know what I'm saying. The people wearing soldieries and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or up here, you know what I'm saying. Everybody wearing the phone posits, the flight posits when they first came out. You know what I'm saying. Stuff like that.
Right.
So it's different. So now everything's being recycled because
It is.
the youngest don't know
It
no
is.
better.
Look, this crazy. And I'm not sure what era this will fall in, but I was going through my closet and cleaning out some stuff, and I had a retro race car jacket.
Uh-huh.
And I was
think that
looking
was
at
the early 2000s.
and I was like, oh, I didn't even know I still had this. I was like, you know what? I might get it clean and it might be worth something now, because people really they be buying that old stuff now.
Yeah, they either be thrifting or they go to Goodwills and stuff like that looking for older clothes now. I just met a chick that does that. She goes to thrift stores and look for older clothes because you can't find it anywhere anymore.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so
all right.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Let's go down to number 3. Number 3 is the 2000s. It says the 2000s was a time of innovation and technological advancement, but also a time when America was the sole superpower.
The 2000s was the era of punk music and niggas getting beat up and stomped out in clubs. That's what I remember about the 2000s.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
That's right.
That was Pastor Troy. That was Lil Jon. That was Bone Crush. That was T.I. That was the Young Jeezy, Snowman Jeezy. Like that's what I remember from the 2000s. I remember going in the club and standing against the wall, just waiting for something to pop on, with a Heineken bottle in my back pocket. All the people that was in the dead end with their full hood. No.
Look, let me tell you what else. 2000s. I don't know if you were on. Like I said, it was my time, but call ID and chat lines and stuff like that.
I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was way before MySpace and Instagram and Twitter.
That's right.
The chat lines. I remember in the 90s we used to hit the chat line and be linking up with joints, man, all over the city, man. Hit the chat line, call the number, check like, yeah, I'm over here, meet me up. But just be careful, you go to certain places, they set you up. You go there and you be like 10 niggas waiting on you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Okay,
Hey,
let's see. Number 4 was the 1970s. That was before my time. I don't really know too much about that, but and say about Elvis, roller skating, skateboards.
well, that was innovational in its own way. The '70s, right?
Mm.
That's when you start seeing designer drugs come to light. And you
Mm.
know what I'm saying? That like coke. So you start seeing coke. You start seeing the inner cities, black cities being deindustrialized, stuff like that. So you start seeing heroin, coke. You know what I'm saying? The first guns in the hood, stuff like that. So that's when around that time, black folks gained notoriety in the '50s and '60s and '70s when you start seeing the break, the the
Yeah.
the the, the men and the women in the black community starting to break apart. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so it was a good thing
Systematically stuff in play put in place.
put in place, right? So
I believe.
but as far as that, I mean, only thing I remember from the '70s is sugar bushes and sluts.
What's a sugar bush?
The sugar bush. So they got the big joints where they be doing the figure that turned out.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, I know what
You
you're
know what I'm
talking about.
saying? So
Okay,
disco.
so a
And,
lot
you
of
know what
this
I'm saying?
stuff here. Let me see. Number
I,
5, it
I bet
says
the Bush. I bet
1960s. Oh, go
I bet
ahead. I'm
the
sorry.
look. I bet the Bush pussy was relevant in the '70s.
That's what I thought you were talking about when you said sugar bush. I'm like, what?
No.
What's the sugar bush?
So yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna go look at some videos. Look at some '70s porn tonight.
Oh, that sounds very disturbing. That sounds very disturbing. Let's see here.
Oh man.
What?
Yeah.
So look, number 6 it says number 6 is 2010s.
Bullshit.
It say
Bullshit.
number 6, 2010s. It says it was a good decade. K-pop gained popularity during this decade. YouTube was not taken seriously during this time. People just posted videos to make people laugh. Memes were also much funnier during this time.
Cause we had the what was that joint Vine when you could do 6-second videos?
Oh yeah, do it
Yeah,
for
you
the
remember that?
vine. Do it for the
Yeah,
vine.
Vine.
Do it for
Do
the
it for the
vine.
Vine.
Do it for
Yeah.
the vine. Yeah.
The 2010s. You think about this during the
2010s
2010s.
was all right. They was good as far as
The people got lazier.
economically.
The
I
people got
think
lazier. They want more for less. You know what I'm saying? Now,
right.
people protested. Don't even know what they protested. They were more. It was more. I didn't say it was more violent than the '50s and the '60s, but it was. No, man. There was another one of these civil rights stuff that happened. This at a standstill right now. So
Yeah.
the 2010s was like, eh. I mean, look at all the crazy shit that happened. Afghanistan happened, and you said
Yeah.
that shit was all fucked up. Like, and think about all the riots, all the people still getting gunned down, all that stuff, all the protests and all stuff. And this decade was trash.
It was trash.
It was trash. No real good music came out. Name them
No,
name some memorable music that came out during the 2010s.
I don't know. I
Exactly.
can't remember anything that came out in 2010 that was good.
But
But
you can sing a song from '92 right now.
oh yeah. Every single word.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's keep going. Number 7 is the 1950s.
Oh, that's when when the good old racism. That's the good old
Mm-hmm.
racism. You know what I'm saying? But they can
Yep.
still take your ass out back and straighten you up for looking at their women.
That's right. That's right.
So why is that even in? Why is that even in this category? Anything below before 50 should not be in this.
Well, number 8 is 1920s. 1920s is number 8. 1900s is number 9. So let's see what's number 10.
The 1900s.
The 1940s is number 10. So I think we're just good through 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Yeah, them
That was
last,
given. That was supposed to be the top best 10 decades to live in since the 1900s. So
some white
that's
folks
where they
made
went
that
to.
list. And you know how I know white folks made that list? Because the 80s was number 1.
80s was number 1?
Yes, the 80s was number 1. So I mean the 80s was a good decade though. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a real good decade. I do, like I said, the movies, music, but they
Yeah.
was all that and
But
project.
it was the end of the 80s though. You know what I'm saying? So that pushed to the 90s. Because the 90s was off the chain. Remember they had MTV Unplugged, Uncut, Spring Break, MTV, all that stuff.
I still remember BT. Now that's one thing I remember about the late '90s and the early 2000s. BT. I need a tip drill. I need a tip drill.
Okay.
Remember that song, "White Girls"? Dude was getting head in the video. White girls, please don't tell Minister Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I was like, man, what is this shit?
So let me ask you this.
Yep.
What about sports?
Now, physicality of the sports, the 80s and the 90s, easily. They took on the physicality out of sports right now. That's why I don't watch the NBA. I don't watch it at all. Like, it's just, that's why you got these dudes, these mediocre players averaging like 25, 30 points a game. They're not allowed to play defense anymore. Now, in the NFL, they're starting to let them hit again. Now,
with those new helmets and stuff.
Yeah, they started to let them hit again, but it ain't nothing like the 90s. I remember watching dudes get concussions, get pulled out the game, get some smelling salt, and going back in the game. Like, they be that joint halfway dead. And they run out there running
God, not halfway dead.
halfway dead. And everything was better. Wrestling was better back then. Football was better back then. Basketball was better back then. I mean, look, even baseball back then. In baseball, all the niggas in the MLB was doing drugs. They was on steroids and shit, breaking home run records. So big for no reason. So, but when it comes to the advancement of the sport, the athletes have naturally gotten bigger. Like if you take a receiver that was in the NFL back then and put him next to a receiver now, like a receiver back then was probably like my height. Whereas though a receiver now is like 6'4", 6'5" in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So so the advancements in us is changed all that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, as far as like sports, yeah. If I want to go and see some breakneck, people get clotheslined, people get kicked in their nuts when they get tackled, kind of football, I go back to the 90s and watch the classics.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Now let's go with, we hit movies, we hit fashion, we hit sports, we hit music. Now what about
the women?
TV
the women
show?
Was the TV show was good, but the women was better back then too. I don't know what these hoes out here doing now. Let me tell you.
Well, man, I don't think that have nothing to do with the decades. I think that just has something to do with you.
Man, listen, them older women back was ready to drop that thing off. These older women out here now be ready to box you.
And women will argue that men were better too.
Oh yeah,
we would get up and go and do, and try to be present. Those who were and provide.
Well, let me tell you
why. Be no provider. They want to sit at home and do what women do.
Let me tell you why granddaddy was better than. Let me tell you why dad was better than. You know what I'm saying? And great granddaddy was better than. Because all of their wives let them have their family on the other side of town. They had a release when they wife was getting on their nerves. That's why.
You need to stop it. That's true for some people's story. You need to stop it, though.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come in. I'm going to make sure all the bills paid here, baby. You ain't got to work. But I got to take care of Lucinda on the other side of town, too, baby. You either deal with it or you get your ass up out of here. That's the difference. So, yeah. And TV shows, we're not going to get a different world again. We're not going to get, you know what I'm saying? We're not
Family Matters again.
Family Matters again. Full House. We're not going to
get none of that again. Amen. 227.
We ain't going to get none of that again.
All that good stuff.
Martin, we're not going to get that again. No. In Living Color, we're not going to get that again. Because of the way the world's set up now, a lot of that stuff's not acceptable. Imagine them trying to make a show like In Living Color now. Think about that. Imagine Eddie Murphy doing Eddie Murphy Raw. That stand up from the 80s now. It would not happen. Imagine them having a Def Comedy Jam with all the comedians from the early '90s. Now
It wouldn't happen.
it wouldn't happen. No,
No,
would be
that's
no
that.
Robin Williams. Would be no Bernie Mac. Would be no none of that.
What was that we were talking about? That cancel the culture.
Cancel culture. Like even if you think about it, even the comedians that was on Def Comedy Jam back then, some more Adele Givens, Martin, stuff like that. They even had to conform to stay relevant out here.
Yeah,
they had to conform. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But we ain't gonna get no good shows like that. Now they trying, but they don't have the same appeal because they add things to the shows or making it too filled with drama or stuff like that. So it's like, and then we live in a world where people are so hurt. Only thing that makes them turn in is hurt. They want to see hurt. If it's not showing hurt, they don't want nothing to deal with it or to do with it. That's why Krishan and Blueface getting all that attention. People want to see hurt. People want to see pain. That's why Love and Hip Hop getting on streams and all stuff. People want to see hurt and pain now. They don't want.
It attracts you, but that's not what all people want to see. You know,
they don't want to see a different world.
Yes, they do.
I used to, Lisa Bonet.
I think they should have never stopped the different world. They should have just kept it going, just like they did that old show. Remember that old show, Seventh Heaven, where all the kids grew up and everything like that. They should have just kept it going. But
man, listen, Married with Children. They could not make no Married with Children right now. The way he be in there going on the fat people and all that stuff. Like,
no, they did. They couldn't make that now.
Could not make it now. You know what I'm saying? So definitely for sure now, provocative. People started to get a little bit more bold with what they could wear and do, and like sex scenes and stuff in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
We started seeing more sex on TV, more kissing, more love making, more affairs, stuff like that in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so this is like, getting you ready. But look, I took some tally and about who won the best decade. And I think the 1990s won.
Oh, as it should though. As it should. And I'm not just saying that because I was out there in the streets and hanging with my friends and drinking 40s at 15 kind of shit, drinking Still Reserves. I'm not saying that because of.
Oh my God. Ugh. That's so nasty.
I'm just saying, like, if you look at, I lived through decades, and that decade right there was.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, my favorite is the 1990s and the 2000s. Those two got me.
I'm gonna go with the 80s second, because like I said, the movies, the artists that came out. Only thing I didn't like was all that androgynous fashion, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the 80s because of the creativity that came from the 80s. That's being recycled now.
Right.
Is my second.
Okay.
Nothing after 2010 though. Nothing after 2010.
Okay. Well, looks like we done wrap that up. So let's move on to community events. What you got for us this week?
Man, listen, with the community events now, I want to give a couple black businesses shout outs. Now, Queen's Cream, right? If you're looking for butters, beer oil, candles, stuff like that, go to Queen's Cream. I actually have some of their candles right here. And these drinks smell good as hell.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that drink.
And I like the tin container.
Yep. Man, that drink smell good. That one right there is so I got a watermelon lemonade, niggas in their watermelon. Right?
Okay.
So if you want to get candles or anything like that, now it's a good product. I have the candles burning, right?
Okay.
So Queen's Cream is Queens with a W, not a U, a W. Queen Cream on Instagram. Go ahead and check them out and order some stuff. Now, for all of y'all that like to smoke Black and Miles, dippers, crack, meth, fentanyl in your cars, whatever case may be, holler at Sense for You. SenseForYou.com, right? It's not Sense with an S, it's with a Z. SenseForYou.com. They got the little squares that you put in your car and the freshness, but they let squares you put underneath your seat, and them just last for a long time. I didn't have one in my car for like 60 days, and my car still smells good. Yeah, so Sense for You on Instagram with a Z, right? And I stand on their products. You know what I'm saying? Now, for all y'all old folks, they're like older music. At the Grand Opera House in Delaware, April 15th, they got a classic R&B spectacular. They're gonna have the Spinners, the Manhattans, and the Intruders. I don't know what the Intruders are, but I don't want them near my house. I don't know. They probably know for B&E back in the 60s. I don't know about them. I know about the Spinners and the Manhattans though. But y'all can check them out Saturday, April 15th in Delaware at the Grand Opera House. Okay. And those are my events. Those are my events.
All right. Well, look, I got a little something. Let's move on to my events. So, if you're not familiar with the Augusta area, every year Augusta is actually known for holding the Masters tournament, and the Masters tournament will be at the Augusta National Golf Club from Thursday, April 6th to the 9th. The women's have already had their tournament. You just can't walk up there and think you're going to get some tickets. If you don't have any tickets by now, you're not going. But if you don't have tickets, you can also... What?
Hey, we niggas out there trying to sell t-shirts to get in.
Look.
Scalping tickets.
Yeah. Look, you ain't got your stuff by now? It's a no-go.
Come on, we have to steal green jackets. Crazy.
Trying to. But if you don't have tickets, there is something else going on from April 7th to the 9th. It's actually the Jazz Fest 2023. It's actually the first Jazz Fest and features jazz music artists from the CSRA and beyond. It's 3 days, like I said. And there will also be live music events at Toast in Augusta, downtown. And it'll be hosted by the elected violinist Javon Jones. She's actually really good. I've seen her play at one of the Lord, my mind just went blank. This is the spoken word. No, it's like a spoken word thing that they have here. I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyway, so on Friday they're doing the Jazz and Flow All White Affair. On Saturday they're doing the Battle Violin Verses. And on Sunday, they're doing a gospel jazz brunch. So if you're in the area of the Augusta, Georgia, please come on by. Please come on by. And those are my community events.
Hey, I like that. Come on, April. There we go.
You. You know, I might go down there and see what's up with the Jazz Fest this weekend now.
Man, look, it sounds like there's going to be a whole bunch of big booty women out there. I need to come down there too. Come on, baby. Out there drinking margaritas. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so look, we're going to get into the read of the week. I think I got the read of the week this week.
You do.
Ooh. So the read of the week is actually a pretty good fiction book. I read it and it was mind-blowing. Like the concept is crazy. So the read of the week is Grace by Calvin Denson. Right?
Okay.
So Grace, it's a fiction book about a pastor who dies and goes to hell.
Oh no.
So when the pastor goes to hell, he's lived the most perfect life, upstanding life prior to him dying, but he's sent to hell on a mission. So he goes to hell and he's given the power to atone people and send them to heaven.
Oh wow.
So once, but you have to be really, really worth it. So he goes on trials and tribulations to find the power of the water to send people to atone people. So while he's on that mission, oh look, my light just cut out. While he's on that mission, he's being stalked by Lucifer and all the 4 horsemen, and they're trying to find him and they're trying to kill him, and then they put bounties all over his head in hell and stuff like that, and he's atoning people. So when I ain't gonna tell you what else happens, but the storytelling is amazing in this book. I love it.
Okay. And what's the name of it again? The author?
Grace by Calvin Denson. So when I put up the description, I'm gonna start putting the names of these books up.
Okay.
Yep. So Grace by Calvin Denson.
Awesome idea.
Right? Yep.
All right. Well, that was an awesome read of the week. I'm definitely looking that up.
So with that being said, now that was inspirational. That was very, very inspirational. Very, very inspirational. Like I appreciate the efforts that he put in, right? I appreciate the
Mm-hmm.
efforts that he put in with that. So with that being said, we got to get into fuckers you talk about dumbass of the week. Now this dumbass of the week is really, really good. You're gonna laugh at this dumbass of the week. It's really, really good, right? Like when I say this motherfucker is stupid, this
Who is
motherfucker
it?
is stupid.
What is it?
Okay, it's okay. Dumbass of the week is a dude named Derik Bowers. Derik Bowers is from up here in Maryland, right? So
okay,
the man got arrested for cyber stalking and harassment. You know why he got arrested for cyber stalking and harassment?
why?
He called his ex-girlfriend 815 times in 2 days.
Oh, I can believe that.
850. What kind of pussy you got to have for a man to call you 815 times in 2 days?
Look, he just crazy. I've had, I'm not saying this to be trying to boast. I'm not bragging at all. It's actually scary. And I know why she, filed those charges. But yeah, I've had my phone been blown up like over 200 times in one day.
Over there bragging.
No, I'm definitely not bragging. That's scary. If somebody blowing your phone up that much, they're not in their right mind. You need to stay as far as possible as you can from them.
You shouldn't give that man a taste. You have to go to goddess for a reason, right?
Man, look. I'm not gonna say I'm not. No.
Listen, so this man sent thousands of text messages and then went to social media and tried to embarrass her and tried to get her fired from her job, man.
Just
like
nasty,
he tried to do
petty.
He tried to do it. Yeah, I like. She must have took his virginity or something. Like, what kind of pussy you got to make a man do this? 800 text messages. It was probably thousands.
She probably found out what kind of man he was and wanted to leave his ass alone. Don't nobody want to be dealing with no temperamental man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Derik Bowers, with his stupid ass out here texting at people all hours of the day, all hours of the night, and calling people jobs and all stuff. This motherfucker's the dumbass of the week. I wouldn't do it. You went through it. I mean, I may have experienced it a time or two with women, like, because I was on some crazy shit, fucking ducking, leaving alone. Like, why you treat me like animal, Daya? Why you treat me like animal? But anyway, not like this, though. Not like this. Right? So Derik Bowers is the dumbass of the week.
Dumbass Derik Bowers.
Dumbass Derik Bowers. You stupid, foolish man. All right, so the funny fit tip of the week, right? I mean, I like this segment, but I want to get more in detail with it and stuff like that. So this is another week. I think that we can pass on the funny fit tip because I'm going to actually have a layout and a breakdown of the fit tip next week.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm gonna have it because like I have subjects and everything, whatever it may be, but I want to lay out statistical facts like I was doing in the beginning, so it don't look like I'm just talking shit.
Right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? So with that being
said, we'll let you pass this week.
Yeah, thank you, the Golden Goddess. You're the best. So April, I know you got that challenge. Where we going this week? And tell us something good.
Okay. Look, y'all know it's summertime and approaching summertime. And I don't know about you, but for me, I do a lot of Groupon trip shopping for the summertime because they have a lot of stuff that includes airfare, right? So what I was looking at is a 5, 6, or 7 day Paris vacation with hotel and airfare included. And it's starting off at $6.99. Now, they do have different departure cities. They have New York, Chicago, and Miami. New York is the cheapest, but look, it's too easy to catch like a JetBlue or Spirit or Frontier to New York for like what, $50?
$60. Yeah, $50, $60.
Yeah, when the airfare is already included in your trip. So I would say get that down in there, check it out. Again, it's on Groupon. You need your passport. So
I might have to check that out because I ain't clapped no cheeks in Paris in years. Would definitely be nice sight.
What?
I ain't clapped no cheeks in Paris in
Clap
years.
no cheeks in Paris. Oh Lord.
In years. So I got to I might definitely have to check that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And next week, when I do the travel tips, I know I've been hearing a lot of people talk about them cruises. So I'm gonna let y'all know about a couple cruise packages and stuff that's going on too.
Oh, well, I cruise a lot. You already know
Don't
I
miss
cruise
out
a
on the
lot.
cruise. Look, I got
I
one
cruise a
coming up
lot.
at the end of this year.
I got one coming up in May. I got one coming up in October. Now I already done 2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I cruise a lot. Cruising is my favorite way to travel.
Yeah. My
I get
kids
out
had a lot of
there.
stuff going on this year, but I got a cruise in December and Vegas in August. So it is what it is. Let's go.
You taking the kids to Vegas?
Oh no.
I was about to
Taking the
say they
kids to
ain't shit
Vegas.
for they ain't shit for the kids to do in Vegas.
No, not
Man,
kids in Vegas.
no, that ain't nothing for the kids to do in Vegas, man. They be mad as a motherfucker. The kids be like, why we out here, mommy?
This is a strictly grown folks trip to Vegas.
Okay.
What happens in Vegas stays in
Stays
Vegas.
in Vegas. Sin
That's
City,
right.
baby. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? Hey, you got to make sure you go with the right people too, because like if you don't go with the right people, Vegas can be a very overrated place. Costly,
I'm going
overrated
with
place.
my boo. Me and my boo going.
Oh, Mr. Nasty Time.
That's right. That's right. You got it.
Well, April, thank you so much for the travel tip of the week. Now, April, we had a
Don't
great show
ask me.
today.
Oh, I
We
thought you
had
were
a
gonna
great
ask me
show
about
today.
everything.
We had a
Yes,
great
we
show
did.
today.
We had the great
And
show.
man, I wish Danny could have made it on today, but guess what? We're gonna get him on a future show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, he's doing this movie thing and stuff like that. He was on set when he had texted me. He's like, man, I'm still on set. I can't do it. He got casted for a movie. So
Yeah. We're gonna give
we
Danny a rain check this time,
We're gonna give him a rain check. You know what I'm saying? So next time he better bring his ass home. All right. So with that being said, man, I think it's time to close it out until next week.
Till next
You know
week.
what I'm talking about? Till next week. Man, this has been a real good episode, though. So you still ain't getting shit with that social media, huh?
No, man. I've been busy. I got a lot of things going on, and I don't want to be scatterbrained. I'm trying to focus on something. But
all y'all black ass got to do is
I
go on
am.
Facebook, create a group or a fan page, and put your face on that damn picture.
Hold on,
Like
look. Don't tell me what all I have to do.
Co-host of Journey of a Jackass.
I'm gonna tell you. Don't tell me what all I have to do. Look, I'm gonna tell you how Samuel Jackson said it. All I gotta do is stay black and die.
Black and die.
Look, no, I got a little downtime this weekend. I'm gonna try to do it. I ain't making no promises.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Here we go
with that shit. And then next week, I'm like, April, what's going on? Oh shit! This weekend, I went and did this with the kids. I'm
gonna hit you up.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, you know where you can find me at the Author Daya Shakur on Instagram. Find me on Facebook, Author Daya Shakur. You can find me on Clubhouse, Author D Shakur, Fanbase, Author D Shakur, Twitter at The Right Bama, and you can find us on YouTube at Journey of a Jackass TV. Let's go, man. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and until next time, it's Journey of a Jackass. And we are
the Golden Goddess.
There we go. And let's do that again. We messed it up. And until next time is the host Daya Shakur and
the Golden Goddess.
And we're out of here.
Peace. Bye, y'all.